Emergency is a lesson for all of us as warm weather brings us outdoors. One man is being treated for severe burns after a grill explosion in South Fargo. It happened yesterday afternoon in the Buena Vista Mobile Home Park just north of West Acres. Police say a 35-year-old man poured gas onto a grill thinking it was no longer lit. That grill then exploded and started on fire. So did the gas can the man was holding. There has been no update overnight on that man's condition. We have a heads up about a large first responder presence you might see in downtown Fargo today. Fargo Cass Emergency Management is conducting a training session most of the day. It starts in a couple of minutes at 7 o'clock, goes until 5 this evening. You'll see a large number of emergency vehicles around the Fargo high-rise building, Dyke West and Island Park. There shouldn't be any road closures, though, during that training session. We are going to hear from NDSU's new president later today. David Cook is taking questions from the media this afternoon on his first day on the job. He takes over for Dean Brashani. The first Forward Party candidate for Minnesota governor is picking a Fargo schools administrator as his running mate. Corey Hepela and Dr. Tamara Uzelman will make one of their first public appearances together this afternoon at 2:30 at the Moorhead Public Library. Uzelman is the Director of Equity and Inclusion for the school district. She lives in Pelican Rapids, Minnesota, and has an education career that spans nearly 4 decades, including being the former superintendent at Burgum Public Schools, where Hepela went. Hepela says Minnesotans need candidates who understand issues like education and diversity. Some people say they have not seen flooding in the Northern Valley this bad in more than a decade. And Valley News Live went up in the air to get a look at what they're talking about. Look at your screen right now. We flew with pilot Matt Pershawn around Oslo, Minnesota, and this could be a long summer of cleanup for farmers and road crews. He's guessing that it could take several weeks for the floodwaters to go down. That's only if there is no more significant rain. Big if there when talking about our forecast. Lisa Green joins us now this morning with when we could see more rain. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning. Well, we are looking at the return of showers even as early as this morning. More substantial rain, more measurable rain coming up for later in the week. And we've been treated to a nice sunrise here, though that will be more likely to be changing over to some mostly cloudy skies by the time we get into the afternoon. Here's a look at current conditions in Fargo. Some sunshine, temperatures in the 40s. It's 47 in Fargo. Wind very light, but notice the direction. It's starting to turn southeasterly. And that will be a big factor in ushering in a little bit more moisture to the valley, but also some milder air as we head into midweek. Moorhead at 48 degrees and more sun in the Grand Cities. You can see the Red River there also on the retreat as we are looking at a temperature of 45 degrees in Grand Forks. Some more partly cloudy skies, wind out of the southeast at 8 miles per hour. So starting off the day on a relatively quieter note, but you can see what's happening here. We've got some showers that have been working their way from central North Dakota and pushing farther into eastern North Dakota. So with that comes more cloud cover in areas and the potential for a shower or two continuing to roll eastward as we make our way through the day. Southern parts of the valley, over in the Jamestown area, you may be getting a sprinkle right now. Farther north, we're looking at the Devil's Lake Basin, seeing a few of those sprinkles as well. Our light shower passing by, certainly with some cloud cover associated with it too. And a look at the bus stop planner today. We'll expect to have temperatures 40s to some 50s with conditions that are going to get cloudier as the day goes on. So by the afternoon, by the time the kids are heading home, we'll see temperatures more into the 60s to some upper 50s. It'll depend on if you get more cloud cover and if you get more rain showers moving through. That'll keep you on the cooler side in those places. And as we make our way into midweek, again, I mentioned that warm up. We'll get back into some 70s for Wednesday, but rain showers possible, especially in the afternoon. And then Thursday, it's going to be more widespread, stormy weather, the potential for severe that we'll need to watch out for with a more powerful system moving through. And that one is the one that could produce another ½ inch to an inch of rain in the valley. By Friday, much colder air moving in. It's going to get windy, and we may even see a flake mix in the northern valley to any remaining showers. So big ups and downs here this week.
Yeah, that's an understatement. 73 and then snowflakes.
It's May.
What more can we say about it? All right, Lisa, thank you this morning. It is now 6:54 new this morning. A Navy ship is set to be commissioned in Minnesota for the first time ever. The USS Minneapolis St. Paul arrived in Duluth yesterday to be commissioned on Saturday. That ship will have a crew of about 140 sailors. A breakthrough deal for Minnesota's massive budget surplus. Governor Tim Walz and state legislative leaders say they have agreed on the framework with just a week remaining in the session. It would mean $4 billion in tax relief, another $4 billion in spending for education, public safety, and health care, and $1.5 billion for public works projects. The bipartisan deal would leave $4 billion in the bank to guard against downturns. Governor Tim Walz says there is still a lot of hard work ahead, but the main parameters have now been set.
Minnesotans need money back in their pockets right now. It makes sense to do that. The advocacy on some returned money to get back in the pockets, some long-term tax cuts, especially targeting that middle-class folks, was an argument that is a solid one.
Special committees need to work out the details, but the legislative session ends on Monday, so they don't have much time. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum has shelled out nearly $1 million in campaign contributions ahead of the state's primary election. Most of the money has gone to a political action campaign that historically has focused on defeating Republicans' far-right candidates, or those who do not agree with Burgum's spending and policy goals. The primary is on June 14th. One North Dakota farmer calls fertilizer prices this year horrendous, and the high costs have some producers changing their planting plans. The American Farm Bureau says prices of some fertilizers have increased by 300% over the past year. Jennifer Meyer at Wilton, North Dakota, says they're saying no this year to corn and wheat and will instead plant barley, which uses less fertilizer. Analysts say increases in fertilizer prices are due to many factors, including increased demand around the world, pandemic-related supply chain issues, and an increase in production cost. After a long winter and unusually cold spring, people are ready to get outside and get their garden growing. In the Valley today's JC Dodd joins us live this morning with what you need to know before you start digging up dirt. She joins us live. JC, I love all the green you have behind you. Good morning.
Good morning, guests. We have a beautiful sunrise over this beautiful garden center here in West Fargo. I'm at Shea West, and they have an absolutely stunning variety of plants, vegetables, anything that you want to get planted in your yard, in your garden, on your patio. They have it right here, and there's a lot to look for this season. Like you said, it's been an unusually cold winter and an unusually cold and wet spring, so lots to look out for. But I'm here with owner Jody Callis, and she says there's something special about this spring and summer. Jody, can you kind of talk to us about that?
I would say it's time for people to get back together, gather again, love the people that are in your life. For me, landscaping has always been about creating moments in time. I want to make sure that people know that they can buy the very best product here. We have a whole variety of ornamental trees and shrubs, patio sidekicks we call them, lots of different prairie grasses and plants across the back, perennials, herb gardens. We have shrubs and all kinds of wonderful plants, but more than anything, what are you going to do? You're going to create those spaces that you want to be in. You're going to create those spaces that you can share with all the people that you love. So we want people to come out here, find the things that are going to make your space just right and enjoy it with us. That's why we say here is a beautiful beginning. We want to be cultivate a great relationship with our customers who can then pass it along to all of their family and friends so that everyone can just come and enjoy the outdoors.
And now that we finally got some of this warmer weather, we can start planting, but there are some few things that it's a little cold, Lisa's been saying all morning about later this week. So you want to look out for that, but you can start planting?
I would say waiting is just fine, but come and find your things, get in early so that you can get the very best of what we have. In the hoop houses, all of those annuals are the really tender plants. A lot of the stuff behind me here is all of our shrubs and trees. Those things are a little more hardy, so if we do dip down in temps, that stuff should be okay, but some of those pots that you're going to have the annual flowers and the veggies that are still so tiny, you do want to tuck those inside if it's going to get cold, but everything out here should be okay for the rest of the season. If we're if you're not sure, definitely pull it in the garage, but we're just about there, and everybody is ready to get in their gardens and dig in the dirt and just feel the earth.
Absolutely. I think we're all ready. Jordan and I both have been talking for a long time about getting out in the garden, getting out, feeling the sun, and seeing all of this greenery finally.
Yeah, that's what I did yesterday, and I love it. Also, a good time to make memories when you're out there with the family as well. JC Dodd reporting live at Shea West in West Fargo. Thank you. And nice weather also means you need to brace yourself for roadblocks and traffic delays. That's because it's Marathon Week in Fargo and Moorhead. The Children's Youth Run is Thursday at 6:30. That's up at the Dome. 5K Friday night, 10K, half marathon, and the full are Saturday. You can expect to see no parking signs going up late this week along the route for the race. A chocolate lab is back with her owners after going overboard off the North Carolina coast. The Coast Guard got a call about a vessel whose dog jumped into the water. Then they spotted some movement on the calm waters and realized there was a dog swimming toward the boat. The Coast Guard crew got to the dog and hauled her on board. That pup was tired, I'm sure, but thankfully unhurt. Nice save there. The Today Show and CBS Mornings are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on. More news and weather on the CW. Have a great Tuesday.